Here we go, third take on this video. Song that I want to talk to you about at number 14 on my fantasy playlist. Didn't get enough sleep this morning, only about 3 or 4 hours of sleep. And boy, I tell you what, it catches up with you. Just nails you right on the head. It really does. Plenty of sleep does help. It sure does. Prince at number 14. A Lost 45 by Prince with Mountain. Up 7 from 21 the previous week. Fantasy playlist of June 13th, 1986. Boy, this brings back a lot of memories. Remember watching this Prince video on Night Tracks 30 years ago. Now think about that. 30 years ago. By the time you're watching this video, it might be 50 years or 60 years. But, excuse me. Also recovering from a slight flu. Mountains from Prince from Parade. The album was called Parade. The Parade was the soundtrack to a movie that did not do well for Prince, Under the Cherry Moon. If I remember correctly, that film was shot in black and white, directed by Prince. Kiss was the first single off the album Parade. Went to number 1. That was a massive single, one of Prince's best records. Prince can be astonishingly commercial. 1999, Little Red Corvette. I Want to Be Your Lover, Kiss, and then come out with something like Mountains, which is less commercial, or another cut off that album Parade. Let me bring that up for you. Another Lover Hole in Your Head. A lot of people like that one by Prince, but not nearly commercial enough to be. Just one of those funky tracks that was not commercial enough to be put out as a single. I checked out. I never watched a movie Under the Cherry Moon, but I got curious about the theme of this movie, about the plot of this movie. It was a critical and commercial flop, won 5 Golden Raspberry Awards, including Worst Picture. I got curious. I said, gosh, dog, if it was that bad, what was this movie about? Well, here I got down the gist of the plot line of this movie. It's about a couple of gigolos, Christopher Tracy and his brother Tricky. Christopher Tracy was played by Prince. They swindled French women, rich French women, out of their money. That's what they did. There was a woman named Mary Sharon in this movie. She was going to turn 21 years old. Her 21st birthday was coming up, and guess what? She was going to get it was a $50 million trust fund. She was going to receive a $50 million trust fund on her birthday. Christopher Tracy, when Christopher Tracy finds out about that, played by Prince, I'm going to swindle this woman. I'm going to get that $50 million away from her. This is just too dang rich. But it gets complicated when Christopher Tracy falls in love with Mary. Now fancy that, falling in love and being infatuated with a woman you're going to swindle. That's like trying to square a circle, or maybe the other way around. And it gets even more complicated when his brother Tricky competes with her affections. Well, anyway, Kiss went to number 1. Mountains was the follow-up to Kiss. Mountains only went to number 23 rather, on Billboard's Hot 100. Didn't even make top 40 in England. The movie itself grossed over $10 million. That doesn't sound too bad. And I guess that's all I got to say about this record. I believe I'm done. It does bring back some memories. Did I mention that Prince wrote this song with Wendy and Lisa? I don't think I mentioned that. Well, I just did. Prince, Mountains at number 14. Fantasy playlist of June 13th, 1986.